Hello, everybody. I hope that everyone's doing good out there. Coming to you live from this majestic point in the sun, having me look ever so angelic, ever so emphasizing the pimple I popped this morning. I haven't had forehead zits since high school, so you know that I'm facing some things right now. Working to release some toxins from my system. So anyways, this morning, I wanted to talk about rumination. Rumination's been on my mind a lot because it's something that I'm currently doing. Let me go ahead and just pause my Morning House Jazz 2025 playlist. So rumination, what is rumination? I actually looked up the dictionary definition just because I wanted to be able to recall it. So rumination is a cognitive process where a person repeatedly dwells on negative thoughts and experiences. So it's kind of being stuck in this loop. It could be in relation to a certain experience you had just had, a really intense, traumatic, negative, or just any sort of experience that you gave significance to. You latch onto it. It could be an experience, or it could be a feeling. A lot of times these things coincide, right? So a past experience, an experience that you did have that at one point was your present reality, and instead of continuing to walk forward and move through this path that is life, as things come at you, as things flow through you, flow by you, you kind of just like grab this one and you either hang on. It disrupts the flow. It disrupts the flow of life when we're supposed to be moving like this, and then you grab on, and really all it's doing is holding you back. You aren't going with the current anymore. You're holding on, or you're bringing it with you. And that's also disrupting the flow. And actually, it's so heavy that it's throwing you off balance. You're about to run into the side of the river bank with all the trees. And does that make sense? So anyways, I guess that's my description of what rumination feels like for me, or at least how I have been incorporating it and letting it hold me back into my life recently. And it's a hard thing. Our ego is attached to rumination. So it's a hard thing to admit. I don't ruminate. I'm not ruminating. Oh, but you are. And it's hard to admit that because that means we have to let go of that part of our identity that we have given to ourselves. We have to let it go. And that's hard. And not something that comes naturally that we want to do. It's something you have to put effort into doing, and it's also a commitment, because it's not always the case that it's a one-time deciding factor of I'm deciding to not ruminate on this anymore. That is an important step, and it can be as simple as that. Maybe you probably aren't strong enough to do that you're on your own. I know I'm not. It's something that when I want to give up ruminating on a situation, and it's a commitment to actively release it as it comes in, because it's not always so easy as to just let it go in one release. I have to give it up to God. I truly ask God to help me. I think that the beauty in rumination and why it's so hard is because there is an opportunity to surrender. There's so many opportunities to surrender. It could be a spiritual walk if you so choose to treat it like that. So, of course, just like with most things, the first step and the hardest part can be admitting that there is a problem or something that you want to change, because nothing changes if nothing changes. So making the decision and the commitment to, this is something that needs to change, because really it comes down to, what are you feeding? What are you feeding? Answer that honestly. Are you feeding the soul-enriching things? Are you feeding life, your present life reality, where it's at and showing up? Are you feeding that? Are you feeding your purpose, your passions, your relationship with Source, your friendships, your relationships, the things, your community, each other? Are you feeding those things, or are you feeding this experience or this emotion that you are latching so hard onto and you are reliving because it feels good? Because it feels good to dwell in our own misery. It feels good to feels good in the worst way. Because all you got to do is check out, clock back. And it can be intoxicating because even though it's considered a bad emotion, it's a strong emotion, just like anything. Like there's two sides to a spectrum, but they're still on the same level of sometimes something's so intoxicatingly enriching, like love, that you want to stay high on it. Sometimes on the opposite end of the spectrum, you're feeling something so devastating that all you want to do is give into it and surrender to that feeling and let it take you over because it's intoxicating. And we can identify with misery and sadness. It reinforces our worldview and our egoic perception of ourselves and who we think we are, who our thoughts tell us we are, what our thoughts tell us we can, can't do, how the world works, how it's against us. It's easier to do that and to tell ourselves a lie sometimes because confronting the reality that we aren't in control feels scary to our egos, our minds, the identities we created for ourselves based off of what we've constructed. So, anyways, my thoughts in that channeling is coming to a close, but I'm just trying to share the fact that, yes, something, I have been facing in my personal life, an intense sort of never before seen heartbreak in one way or another. And as I said in the last video, somebody told me that my suffering is necessary until I decide that it isn't. And I was like, yeah, you know what? True. I do believe that. That does align with the things I believe. Let me make that decision. I have been ruminating. I am ruminating. Let me make this a dedicated spiritual practice. Let me take it as every time that rumination, I see it and I'm aware of it. Let me make that a time to give it up. Practice giving something up to God. Practice surrender. Practice trusting. Giving it up to the universe. Trusting in the universe. Finding peace in the moment and not getting swept up into the mind, into the feelings, the internal experience, and reliving and reliving and ruminating and ruminating. Because what am I feeding? I'm feeding that. I'm feeding that. The mind, the emotions, maybe the physical world. Let me feed my higher self. My higher self. In the name of God, Source, the universe, let me just try to make it that. And trust that everything's going to be okay. And I am where I am right now, and that's awesome. And God's timing is always perfect. And you really are exactly where you need to be. Everything that is meant for you will find you. It's not going to pass you by. Find peace in that. Use the difficult time, pour the energy and the feelings and that is brought in from the difficult times into healing and growing and moving forward. And you got this. Thank you. I love you. Wait. Uh-oh, I hope that I was recording that. Oh, that's gonna be crazy. Wait, was that none of that recorded? Oh, dear goodness. Oh, it's still going. Okay. All right, yep. Oh, that's my video. How do I stop this? my god, it's still going. Okay, I'm literally gonna upload this whole thing because